Start the right side front row.
I guess for both of you or either of you, whichever, how much is it all starting to feel real for you right now, and how much pressure do you feel as the, I guess, the first team
I don't know, like, I think if the group's been pretty focused on like the task at hand. To be honest, like 2 days ago we were playing a National Hockey League game here, and now all of a sudden there's a Super Bowl and all these guys are coming in, and you're trying to overload these guys with information, and so there's just been, I don't even know if there's been enough time to even think about is it pressure or anything like that. And what is pressure? It's something you put on yourself. And for me, the group we have, I don't know, I'm really excited to be around this group and to see what we can do. And I think there's expectations of being a Canadian and wearing the flag and representing this country and how proud we are and what we're doing. But you can't wear that as a burden. You just have to go out there and play the game you love and work your tails off and see what happens. And there's a lot of pride in the room, but it hasn't, I don't feel at all that these guys are feeling like it's immense pressure. They're a confident group ready to go to work, and they're sponging stuff in, and it's been a fun group to be around.
Right side, third row.
Oh, John, Brian. Yes, and can you confirm a starting goaltender for us today?
Jordan Bennington.
So when you have those conversations, how does that go with Jordan when you let him know that he's got the net? What's his draft?
Well, he didn't say. Are you sure?
That was not what he was.
Naturally, he was really excited. He's a confident kid, and he wants to be in that spot. And I think this wasn't sitting here saying this decision was made months ago. I mean, there's a lot gone into this decision, but this kid's played in some huge moments and some big games, and he's a competitor, and not that the other guys aren't. And these other guys are ready to go if anything happens. But Jordan's been our guy, and the kid's got fire in the belly. He's a competitor. And we're really confident in him.
Left side, second row.
Steve Warner, Associated Press. Don, you've watched Connor McDavid from afar for years in the NHL. How much are you looking forward to, in a very general sense, this tournament, maybe move on next year, seeing him in a Canada uniform, in the best-on-best tournament, and kind of what do you expect out of a player of that caliber?
Well, Coop alluded to it. I think the guys are excited about the environment that now had the opportunity to play in and play together for the first time in a long time, first time for several of them. And Connor, like, you see when you watch him play in the National Hockey League, like, it's just pure excitement. What he can do on the ice, and the players that get a chance to play with him, they can't be passengers. They can't wonder what's going on because he has that awe about him. And I think every guy's excited to see him on this level, this stage, and really taking a leadership role in Hockey Canada now and moving forward.
Left side, fourth row.
Hi, question for John Guillaume Lefrançois de la Presse. Very simple question, but what's it like to coach Sidney Crosby, and how would you compare the level of interaction that you have with him compared to other elite players that you coach in your career?
Well, I'll sit here and say the interaction started when I was named head coach, and so it's every time we've gone to Pittsburgh, I've met with him, after the game. We text messages, phone calls. There's been constant discussion. So, I can make an argument. I've talked to him more than our own captain in Edmonton. So this has been something that, for me personally and Don, communication is a big part of this, and developing relationships and finding out how these guys work, and Sid's a big part of that. And Sid's seen things that I haven't seen on the international stage. I mean, he's been a part of these. So as much as I think, how I see things going, it's great to have a perspective of somebody that's been there and done that. And so there was been a lot of communication between the two of us. And I said this yesterday at the press conference. there's no shock or surprise about why this kid has won as much as he has. There's not a flaw in him in any way. And it's, talk about cool things to be a part of. This is a cool thing to be a part of because, he's here.
Right side, second row.
Hey, John, what's the balance you think in this event for you as head coach in terms of giving your original game plan a chance to finally see legs, and yet every game feels like an elimination game right off the hop because it's a short event. So is this working? Is it working? Do I have to change? How do you think you're going to feel that out in the moment?
I guess it's hard to say until you're in the moment. Part of coaching, or a big part of coaching, is preparation and planning, and we've done that. Now the other part is, expect the unexpected, and so you're putting this puzzle together. Doesn't mean all the pieces are going to fit, and that's our job. Is to find what pieces are going to fit, and you have to find it in short order. We don't have exhibition games. We don't have the first 10 games of the regular season. This is it. And the other big thing is not to force things. So if it's, don't be afraid to make a change. And we've talked to players about this. Sometimes you have to go on instincts, and every decision we make, it's not personal. It's decisions made about having a chance to win, and I think the guys really understood that. Of, hey, we're doing our best, just as you guys are. Hopefully, the chemistry is there with everybody, but if it's not, we're gonna make moves, and the guys are all well aware of that.
Right side, standing.
Don, Josh Levin from the Canadian Press. Just go back to goalies. I know it's been 2 months since you picked the guys, but could you bring us through the process of how you came to those three guys? There's obviously guys with better numbers in the NHL now. About 2 months ago, what was the process with Jordan, Aiden, and Sam?
Well, I mean, we knew that we were making a goalie decision as we did with the rest of our team. Maybe arguably earlier than you'd like to allow players to see who might have a hot hand. But the fact is, two of these guys have won the Stanley Cup, and so I had a front row seat for watching Jordan Binnington rise that occasion. So we have no qualms about which goaltender are going in the net. And Sam has been an up and coming goaltender that Hockey Canada has followed for a long time. Played the World Championship, success there. Plays on the biggest stage in one of the hottest markets as we are here in Montreal. Very comfortable in this environment, and has been like a sponge, through the whole process of getting here. And so there's growth opportunity for Sam as well as confidence in all three guys.
Right side, fourth row.
Thanks, Ryan Kennedy from the Hockey News. A question for either John or Don. Clearly, Drew Doughty made a concerted effort to make sure he was ready for this tournament. What does that mean to you that a player would put that much into being a part of this team?
We had, Drew, we knew from the onset of when Drew got hurt that he was going to do absolutely everything possible to get back and play for LA, but to be a part of this tournament. Now, the roadway wasn't very long for him in terms of the return to play and how many games he was going to get a chance to play. What we did was we made sure that we were watching every inch of ice that Drew took, while he was coming back, and realizing where he was at. Coop had a front row seat in one of the games. He wasn't even supposed to play in that game. It was a back-to-back in typical Drew fashion. And we communicated with Rob Blake and where they were at, their coaching staff, and how he was playing. And he was on place, I think, 23 and 26 in your game, and rolls into Carolina and plays 25, and just the other night in back-to-back game played 29 minutes. So, just goes to show you the competitor that he is. He's won at every level. I think there's a common effect that Drew will bring, but also an energy that Drew will bring from his experience level that will hopefully permeate around our room. And he was just a guy that the group it was hard to keep him off the team at this stage when he was healthy. Ideally, I think he would have made our team from the onset, and he sort of willed his way back into the environment.
Right side, third row.
Dave Stokes. John Cooper, question for you, John, about Victor Hedman. 2 days ago, Victor's your captain on the ice behind us. Today, he spoke to us and said he has a one-game winning streak against you. He played one game against you in 2017 World. Says every time he goes into your office, he sees a silver medal. He says, I have the gold at home. Tomorrow, you're going to see Victor on the ice against you as an opponent. What's your thought about facing your captain as the opponent tomorrow night?
Who did you say you're talking about? Victor. He was dumping that puck in, and it went through our goaltender's legs somehow. It's always hard playing against your guys, especially that same tournament, the semifinals. We played against Vasilevsky and Kucherov, and it's. I don't like it. I don't like playing against guys that you've gone to war with, and now all of a sudden, as he said, in these, for one game, it's because I cheer for these guys, and but he's not playing for us, and so you got to put the blinders on, and we have to do everything we can to stop them and win this game. And all you can hope for at the end of the game is Victor Hedman was the best player on the ice for Sweden, and Canada won the game.
Left side, second row.
Question for maybe both of you to choose. Success with the national team is a big part of Sidney Crosby's legacy. There's been a lot of comparison between him and Connor McDavid over the years. How much do you think this competition is important at this stage at this moment of the Connor McDavid career? And why do you think he has what it takes to take the lead of this tournament on the human level that's even better than me?
Who you want to talk about, Connor or
Connor
Sid?
McDavid.
I think it's been it's been extremely unfortunate for us as hockey fans and for Connor as a player that this is the first time he's get to play in an international event. I mean, he's been in this league for almost a decade, and we haven't been able to see this. Sid he's been the benefactor of having Olympics and World Cups and all these things happen every 4 to whatever years. Plus, he's played World Championships, and so I think this is. I don't want to say it's Connor's coming out party, but it kind of is on the international stage. And hopefully, we're going to Olympics in a year, and we get to see more and more of them. But I just think it's been too bad that we haven't been able to see him more often. So I think for everybody in this tournament, there's been so much excitement, but I think in Connor there might be just a tad bit more, because I think we've all marveled at his talents, and doing it at the greatest league in the level is one thing, but now doing it with the best players against the best players, I think he's really looking forward to this, and I think it should be a treat for fans because we haven't been able to see this for a long time.
Right side, second row.
John, when you have Sid and Nathan McKinnon on the same line, I'm wondering what you're looking for in determining which of those players lines up on the wing, and after 2 practices, how does it look? What do you think?
Well, first of all, you're talking about chemistry, and anywhere I've been in the last 48 hours, those 2 guys have been together. They constantly talking hockey with each other, and they're constantly ribbing each other. Like, it's actually quite a treat to listen to these 2 guys go at it. It's really funny, but it's almost like there's a little brother and a big brother, and that's not talking about the game of hockey. That's just talking about the way they interact. And I'm a big believer in chemistry, and I'm a big believer in the way guys think and how they play. And for me, it's just natural to put those guys together. Is it going to work? We don't know, but you want to see 2 guys that really want it to work. It's those 2 guys, and so. The big thing is they can both take draws on each side. It's a luxury to have centers on multiple centers, and guys can do that on lines. So, depending on what dot it's in. But it's, those guys train together in the summer. They do so many things. They know each other. So, hopefully for us it works out.
We'll take a few more back row on the left side.
For John, quick yes or no. Will Hill dress as a backup tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay, and secondly, I imagine you had almost as much fun as fans putting these lines together, but what makes Mark Stone a fit with Crosby and McKinnon? Do you like about that?
Well, you look at Mark Stone, and first of all, he's a hockey player, and I think the term I'm saying. He just knows this game. He knows where to be. But he plays with Jack Eichel, and there's a lot of similarities and where Jack Eichel and where Nathan McKinnon get pucks, where they want pucks, and what puts them in the best position to succeed. And those are hard things to do. And so, people sit there and say, well, maybe Mark Stone's not the most fleet of foot, but guys that think the game fast play the game fast, and then they can play with fast players. And for us, guy with Stone's hockey sense, it was an easy one to put with Matt.
We'll keep this going for a couple more, but the first wave of player pods has started here. We'll go right side, third row.
Hey guys, it's Matt Larkin here from Daily Faceoff. This one's for you, John. If you think of it as a chessboard, so Don gave you this chessboard with some amazing pieces on it, incredible depth. Is the process of making that lineup work, is it fun? Is it like a fun fantasy exercise for you, or is it just difficult and headache-inducing because there are so many guys to choose from?
First of all, before teams were being named and all these things, like the bar napkins took a beating. So it was really, that's the best part. That's how much fun it is. But when the team got picked, that's when you seriously took a deep dive. And as I said yesterday, communication with the players was a big thing for me in how we see them from the outside and how they see themselves, and then talking it through and what they feel they need. And sometimes it's you have a disagreement. Well, we don't feel like you need this, and he feels like he needs this, and you talk things through, and just in the end you come to a consensus of what's good for guys. And that's without names on the back. It's just the type of player. But I think there wasn't a lines, or when we put them up a couple days ago, where guys were like, oh, I can't believe I'm playing with him. It's more like, I can't believe I'm playing with him. And that's the exciting thing.
Take two more right side, second row.
François Gagnon from RDS for you, John. As a coach, do you take advantage of the TV timeout, the 2 TV timeouts that you have in the period? And are you looking forward to get 30 more seconds in this tournament, every TV timeout? Or for you, it's more of a burden?
Well, it'll be long. TV timeouts are long as it is. And it's, can you recharge some of your top end players? Of course you can. But then what does it do to the guys that haven't been out there or haven't been out before the TV timeout? Now you got to wait through that. So it's kind of the double-edged sword in that part. The unfortunate part about a TV timeout is that the arena, and I don't think anybody realizes this, like the arena isn't silent. Like there's music playing, there's everything's going on. So the players, it's a struggle for the players to hear anything you're doing. So, some quick individual meetings can go down, but it's, they're tough in the TV timeouts. And now to have it, 30 seconds or a minute longer, whatever they are, you just sit there and take a breath and recharge, refocus, and get your game plan together for what's going on. Especially knowing that probably the minute or two before the TV timeout is coming, you're going to get to do some things maybe you wouldn't necessarily do because you know that a big break's coming up. So a lot of things like that go into my head, but when the actual TV timeout is going on, it's difficult because of what is going on in the arena.
Last one, right side, third row.
David Amber here with Sportsnet. This could be for either of you. I asked Bill Guerin and Mike Sullivan if you could describe the identity of the U.S. team when they were here. And they sort of said it's the great combination of will and skill. I would ask you the same question, the identity of this Canadian team, what would you guys say it is?
I'll double down. I think the skill level of all four teams, but in our team we're putting together, just stood out to us. The hockey sense was a big part of John Rockwell talked about, Mark Stone, like who compliments and who wants to represent their country. Ultimately, heart in their sleeve is the type of player that we wanted to go along with the skills and represent Canada.
Gamers and winners. That's what we have.
Thank you, gentlemen.